What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to the 9th episode of Wonder Egg Priority. This one's titled A Story No One Knows. So yeah, last time out was a recap, episode 8. I did a little 3-minute video just to cover my bases, basically. And so people who eventually watch this back realize I didn't just jump from episode 7 to 9 and ask, why did you do that? So it's like, no, episode 8 just was a recap. Which again, I find it weird in the way they numbered that. Like, why not call that episode 7.5 and then this one episode 8? Anyway, there is some confusion now about, because this is a 12-episode anime, but it seemed like an unplanned recap. I hope it wasn't a planned recap, because that would be kind of disappointing. But does that mean we now only have, after this, 3 more episodes, or does that mean we are going to get a full 12 episodes, or is it 11 and recap? Basically, not quite sure the overall length of the show and how it's now going to be. If anyone gets any information on that, please let me know. But for now, I'll just assume that episode 8's recap was part of the 12-episode run, and we're only getting 11 content episodes this season. That's what I'm going to assume. And maybe we'll get like an OVA later on to tie up some loose things, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see what ends up happening, or if any comments get made about that later. But yeah, episode 7 was the last episode with content that we watched, which focused on Rika, her mother and father situation, the family life. Covered her self-harming as well, which was a very, very well done episode, I think. It's not one that's... I think that's the beauty of this show, is that it's not something you're in a hurry to rewatch, necessarily, but it's an important journey, and it's important. It's a thought-provoking sort of thing. It's like a documentary, almost. Like documentaries introduce you to something that maybe you wouldn't have normally considered. And in anime, this type of thing is not normally considered. Let's be fair. At least not in the seriousness that this show wants to look into. The subject of suicide and self-harm and sexual abuse and all this stuff. Like, normally this side of society isn't really covered in anime form. That's not really its medium and its main goal. It's normally uplifting or fantasy or storytelling or something like that. It's not usually devoted to these types of subjects. But it does it really well, really respectfully as well, and has been obviously beautiful to look at. Thank you, Cloverworks, as per usual, for just being fantastic in everything you do. But it's also got such a good atmosphere. The music fits, the way the VAs fit so well for their characters. It's just an overall good project. And now moving into this one, I don't know where we're going from here. Like, we still got, to be fair, we have left, I think it was episode 6, right? That left with Ai saying to Swaki that she was going to go back to school. Right? It was episode 6. So, in theory, we might have Ai in school scenes again. Maybe we'll start picking up on that. But we also had, this is the one thing from the recap that I think was kind of worth mentioning and worth thinking about. Aka and Oraka, because they were narrating the recap, said next time we'll tell you more about us next time you come visit, but it'll cost you. Maybe I'm thinking a bit too much into it, but maybe by next time they meant the next episode. Maybe we're going to learn a bit more about Aka and Oraka, and the cost isn't necessarily a monetary cost like they're implying with like buying the eggs and stuff, but maybe there is a cost of knowing what they're doing and how they're doing it. Because, as they said in the recap, like, what, you don't trust us? Like, as if a nod to all the people on probably social media that are like, yeah, Aka and Oraka are creepy, I'm not quite sure if I trust what they're doing, because I don't trust what they're doing. So, I wonder if they're playing into that, and I wonder if this episode is where things start to maybe show themselves, because if there's going to be that twist of Aka and Oraka, and maybe some sketchiness in their actions, I'm not saying they have to necessarily be lying to the girls or betraying the girls in any way, but I'm certain they're hiding truths. Like, they're hiding something for the sake of these girls, maybe, if we're going to have a positive spin. But if we're having a negative spin, then maybe they're doing something a bit shady behind the scenes. I guess we'll see, but maybe they're implying that this episode might start covering a bit of that just from that recap? I don't know. I guess we'll see what they want to do with it. So, anyway, loading up the episode here. As per usual, these are time-based reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see full picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture reactions I do on the channel. There are also higher tiers for shout-outs at the beginning of the show. Take a look at School Live this season. You can see an example of that. It'll be straight after this one. There are also higher tiers for show requests, such as School Live, but unfortunately those are closed right now until I decide on my schedule for spring 2021. What shows go where, what sequels we'll be doing. I don't know if Symphogear Season 2 will be requested. I don't know if Log Horizon Season 2 is going to be requested. Things like that. World Trigger's continuing on. I don't know if IQ will want another show after School Live or not. You get those sorts of things. So, as soon as information about that is available, it will be on my Discord, so check that out in the description as well. But here on YouTube, we do time-based, so bump left of the screen, you'll see the time for the episode. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, play, then I'll play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. We're watching this one on Funimation since that's who likes it this season. We have the Aniplex logo, then the Funimation logo, so about, what is that? How long is that? Is that 11 or 12 seconds? I always forget. It's 12 seconds of logos. I always forget, because it's like, there's 10, there's also 11, there's 12, there's 15, there's 18. There's a lot of them. But yeah, 12 seconds logos. I'll call them out as I go past. You can also use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when the scene is transitioning. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Aniplex. Funimation. Cheers. Here we go. What? I love it. Rika's look of horror. Of course you do. Ooh. Takoyaki party? No, Rika's to be a bad influence. Wonder if she did just feel like it. I feel like there's probably more of a reason there. Because, like, if she had smiled in that turn scene before she started walking off the OP side, then maybe I'd be like, she's just trying to be more social. But the fact she didn't smile, I mean, it's more fitting of her character not to smile in that instance, I suppose. But it also makes me believe that something is spurring that urge on, and it's not just because she wants to do that. But again, I might be reading too much into it. This show makes you want to read into things a lot, so. I've missed this OP. Chills every time, even when I expect it. I still need to hear the full version of this. Yeah. Something. Ah. Very nice. Alright. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I think. Okay. Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Hmm. Seeing a teddy like there is kind of creepy, but what's that room on the medical floor? Is that lucky? I don't think it's her choice though. Like because of her sister's actions. Oh boy. Oh boy. Face. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Nice little touch. Hmm. Huh. Hence why we're in the medical unit. Okay, that makes way too much sense. Who the hell is this? Oh. Okay. Uh huh. Hmm. Was 43? Ooh, that's low. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Hmm. Hmm. The hell are you? Hmm. Hmm. This is quite a long distance relationship, you know. Stage 4 Fanato? Fanato? Hmm. Oh boy. Poor Pinky. Hmm. 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 Actually kill her, get rid of the body? Whoa. Oof. Hmm. Ah. Nice. Holy shit. Uh huh. Well, we got two of them. Hmm. 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 She's shaking. Hmm. Will she though? I wonder. Hmm. fucking knew something was about to fucking happen. Fucking knew there'd be something. Hmm. 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 Wow. Not where I thought that episode was going to go. Really didn't think so. But that scientist talking with Aka and Norinaka, like, yeah. Suspicion levels just keep going up on those two. But we had a Neru episode. We had a Rika episode. Now we've had a Neru episode. It feels like Momoe's due an episode now, right? And then we can get back to Ai and her journey, in theory. We're starting to put some things together about Aka and Araka, which is something. Alright. Confession. Whose confession? What type of confession? It's getting good. It's getting very, very good. Yeah, that was an episode. That was a good episode. So yeah, something's fishy about them. Yeah. Nice episode for Neru. Well, I don't know if it's a nice episode, but it's an interesting it's interesting to have that perspective on her as a test tube baby, essentially. Yeah, and focusing on her way of life, essentially. Like, I wondered why her room was down in the medical unit, like a floor that she doesn't manage. Why would her room be down here? Like, it makes no sense. But it's because of Kotobuki. It's interesting. It's one, like I said, this is one of those shows that really makes you think more than anything. Um, let me go back to what they said specifically, because there was a specific wording there that I just want to look into. Where was it? Hanama is getting closer to the truth behind the temptation of death. Did give her a hint. Innocent sorrow. Managed to deflect her. If we told them the real reason, none of them would fight. Implying that if they knew the real reasons behind suicides, they wouldn't try and fight to bring them back. Okay. Not if they knew the root cause is the two of us. So they're the ones. So it's implying that Ako and Uraka are providing that temptation towards suicide? They're in the business of. That would be weird. But they're the cause of girls' suicides? How on earth could they be linked to that? Is there anything else? Why are they. How would they be involved in girls' suicides like that? Would they want that? So yeah, right not to trust Ako and Uraka, I think that was fairly obvious. They're obviously hiding something surrounding this entire situation, and surrounding the deaths of the friends at this point. Because in every situation. Well, in every situation there is unknowns, right? Ai has absolutely no idea why Koito killed herself. She assumed it was the bullying that she was partially bringing on to her as well, but there's so much more, and the bullying because Sawaki's favored treatment. But that's all the assumptions we got as to why she went through with it. It seems very extreme of a measure for just bullying. However, obviously different people's mental states deal with things very, very differently. Some people handle bullying way better than others, and some people, at the first sign of conflict, some people will be reduced to thinking the extreme measures. Like, we've seen that. Like, that's strangely relevant in the world right now. But yeah, some people are different in that regard. With Rika and Chiemi, we assume it's because Rika pushed her away, and Chiemi. It's implied that she had she had an eating disorder after it, and passed away through. Well, assumably being pushed away like that by the person she idolized most in the world. It's implied. We don't actually know if that's what drove her to do it. With Neru and the sister stabbed. Wait. Let me just me just get this right with Nehru, right? Where is Nehru? Sister. She doesn't have a sister. Like, she's a test tube baby, so it's not an actual sister. It's a figurative sister. Someone who she's very close and was maybe raised with. So who the hell is this character then? Because if she's a test tube baby, who would she consider her sister? I don't think it was implied. It's obviously not implied that it was what's her face we just met, but who's the sister in that instance then? Sister, another person from Japan, whatever the organization thing was called for the high IQ people. I assume she would refer to that group as siblings. Well, I really want to dig into that now. Like, who the hell is her sister? Because she shouldn't, biologically, she should not have a sister, in theory, unless they happen to use the same maternal or paternal base. But I don't think that's likely. Maybe they did. I don't know. Well, no, if they found a combination that works, why not keep using that combination? Maybe that's part of the science behind it, I don't know. But yeah, I'm curious as to who that actually is now, because, well, again, we assume the sister, through stress, or for some reason stabbed Nehru, and then jumped off a bridge. Through guilt of what was happening, other things that had happened in her life. Like, that's a very vague situation, like, even more vague than most of the others. And then Momoe, again, with, what's-her-face? Where is she? Haruka? Pushed her away after she, was very forward with her. Like, very forward. Too forward, in my opinion, for what was going on, but at that age you're very confused, you don't really know what's forward and what's not, really, I suppose. Depends on how shy you are as a person. If you're a very shy person, you think even just holding a hand is very, very forward. If you're not, you would not think anything of stripping naked in front of someone, right? Like, it's very much based person to person. It's like, there's a very big range of people. But again, it's assumed that through Momoe pushing her away, that's what led her to kill herself. But again, that's the only angle we get on it, so we really don't know what actually tempts them to suicide. It's possible. Now, here's my wild, completely out there theory as to where I think this story could go. Ako and Araka are obviously making a business through monetary means to get these eggs and for these girls to go through them and save them or whatever, and potentially get their friends back, or sisters, siblings, whoever back. Like, that's what they're pushing. But what if they also were the ones who approached, or at least someone they know, maybe another form of them, I don't know. They were also the ones that approached Koito, Haruka, and all these girls when they were getting suicidal. Because none of these four girls have felt suicidal. They felt the want to save their friends, but they've not felt suicidal in themselves, necessarily. Rika kind of gave into the idea, and I wonder if they're going to play into that a bit as well, because she kind of gave in to an extent. But I wonder if Akunaraka were involved in the girl's suicide. That's my kind of wild out there theory. That just like Kube approached the girls when they were in a time of desperate need to recruit them into the Magical Girl program, essentially. I wonder if Ako Narako did a similar thing with the girls as they were contemplating suicide, or someone else approached them whilst they were committing suicide, or thinking of committing suicide, or maybe planting that idea in their heads in the first place. Like, that's where I'm kind of curious if the story's going to go that direction with it. But in theory, next episode should be a Moe story. Should be. That would then leave 2 episodes left for Ai's story and the overall story to wrap up. In theory, because then every Because Momoe really has the least development of all of them so far, relatively speaking. Because Aya's obviously had a lot of development. Neru's got her episode here. Riku's got her episode previously. She's the only one that doesn't really have her episode, so to speak. Aside from her introductory episode, but everyone got their introduction, so that's where I'm imagining it's going to go. And I'm very interested to see what the truth actually is about Aku and Araka and their situation. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments on what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Winter 2020 live we find on the channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Until next time. See you guys later.